Hi guys, I've been speaking to a friend of mine, Matt Sheridan, in the United States for some time, and we have come up with a challenge for each other where we challenge each other to talk about certain martial arts subjects. My first challenge for him was the self-defense applications of kicking, and his first challenge to me is to talk about the differences between Gedan barai and Gedan uke. So just the way that he described them made me wonder if they're different techniques in his style, which is Youn or in other styles he's seen. But just to clarify, this is a Gedan uke for our style. Gedan uke, low level block or receive, is like a low level forearm smash, and Gedan barai is a low level sweep which starts from here and sweeps down like that. I don't know if they're different things in different styles, but each have very distinctly different applications. Now, first of all, I would say that Gedan barai is currently is frequently characterised as a block for kicks down here, but the truth is, unless you really sink low in your stance, I wouldn't want to do a low level block against a kick with that. To be honest, I wouldn't block a kick with Gedan barai at all. You know, not the traditional version that crosses the front of the body, but as a strike to the inside of the arm if somebody's grabbing you and you reach over the top and strike there, or if somebody's down on the floor and you strike like a tetsui hammer fist to the side of their head or even into the side of the body, then Gedan barai has applications. But the primary use, as I see it, for a Gedan barai would be more of a side block, as in cipher. I guess you would call that an atoshi, which is a dropping attack, and generally speaking, blocks are described with the term uke, but uke doesn't mean block. Uke means to receive, and it's a very different feel to something when you consider receiving. It's more about it's not about intercepting force with force, it's about redirection of energy. So if I do here say an atoshi uke or an atoshi Gedan barai, or you could even call it a yoko Gedan barai, I start from a center line here and then I drop down here and I block with a teisho palm heel to my side. I can imagine here as a front kick comes in, if you're brave enough to move towards the kick and then draw this down to the side like this, the camera's not really showing it very well, but here, drawing down to the side. So instead of intercepting the kick and smashing it out to the side, as many people do, you just redirect the energy past you, which takes less power from you and is less likely to hurt yourself. If you see a more traditional Gedan barai where you come across here, here's my bones, radius and ulnar, I can't remember which is which. I believe it's radius on the inside, ulnar on the outside, but they're two relatively thin bones. And if I do a Gedan barai here, I'm going to intercept with my ulnar, I guess that is here, and even against a fairly unconditioned leg, that's going to do my arm a lot of damage if I intersect at a right angle. Now in my style, we intersect with the back of the arm here, so it gets both of the bones and the muscle all working as one, and I tense at the moment of impact, which is a little bit better, but still not something that I really have a lot of faith in from a self-defense point of view. I know it's taught in Taikyoku Shodan or some of the early, I guess, Heian katas. I get the Heians and the Pinans confused. But you know, as a block for kick, I'm not really very fond of Gedan barai at all. However, this same motion, here, very good as a release. Somebody grabs you by the wrist, you pull the wrist back, and then again this yoko Gedan barai where you come to the side, or a atoshi barai, you could say. If you strike here to the base of their wrist where they're grabbing, or to the base of their thumb where the scaphoid bone is, and you smash that, it causes a release action and a very, very powerful escape from a wrist grab. So it has applications, but not generally as a block. Then again, uke, here, I'm going to go back a step actually. Elmer Schmeisser, who wrote oh, I can't remember the name of the book now. It was a technical karate book. Let me see it in my library. Advanced Karate Do was Schmeisser, and he talked about the difference between direct rotation and indirect rotation in a technique. And just to summarise quickly, direct rotation is when your body weight adds mass to a technique, and indirect rotation is when your motion has the effect of throwing a technique away, like a back fist or an uchi-uke or something like that. So generally you could think of it as indirect rotation produces a whip-like action where it's an undulation of your body, and direct rotation, like a punch or a soto uke or something like that, adds weight and mass and power. And Gedan barai, although you could directly rotate into it, because of the articulation of the elbow, that's a weak block for adding body mass behind it. So really you should think of it as a indirect rotation, and as such that makes it, not only is it this inside to outside motion which is physiologically weak anyway, but it's also just weak because of the articulation of the elbow. Now Gedan uke is direct rotation, the body weight comes behind the arm, and although it doesn't, in the sense of a zuki or a punch, literally have weight behind it, because it's kind of the weight is not behind the arm, behind the joint of the arm here. The rotation is in the direction of the block, and for that reason I have a lot more faith in that as a kicking block, and I actually use that against kicks all the time. You know, above belt level kicks, because I don't need to get low to get the arm to work. And again, it uses this solid forearm because there's not this rotation. I train to block here. I believe some styles might call that an uri uke or a haiwan uke, with this surface of the arm here, the outside surface. And I'm very comfortable to use that against a kick, and I'm also very comfortable if I'm working here to use that as a kind of an opportunity block against a punch. If I've parried down on my arms high and then another punch comes in, I'm quite happy to continue around. And again, you can see how this can develop from here, from a high forearm block to an elbow, which adds protection or can be a strike. I don't know that I have an awful lot more to say, except that when it comes to a Gedan barai, the key thing is to get this elbow central to the body, because the block is developed by the upper arm, and the tricep is what gives this block. You know, we traditionally prepare here, but it's not about the fist, it's about the elbow coming to the center line. So this comes here, and then there's the power in the block. And I always describe it to my students as being like having a ball on a chain on a stick, you know, like the old medieval weapon. And what you need to do is throw this across here, and then completely relax and develop from the tricep. Throw the ball down so that it's powerful here. And again, you can see if I were using my hikate hand, my returning hand here, I could have hold of an elbow here and an arm here, and I could bring this across the arm here to either collapse in a lapel grab, or if their arm was turned to attack an elbow, or even a tricep, depending on how deeply in I am. Whereas the Gedan uke, I'm going to use an initiation with the hip, and then if you guys have ever seen Peter Constantine talking about power kicking, where he talks about double hip action with power punches, and he talks about dropping the hip off and then throwing the hip, and the shoulder goes back and throws the punch. Well, the same thing here. The hip and the torso initiates, and it's this tension here in the arm backwards which gives this additional power. I don't really know if I'm coming across very well here, but sometimes with direct rotation you turn everything and then use the extra arm at the end just to kind of finish a technique off, to give it the last bit of power, I guess you'd say. Whereas with the Gedan uke, I'm throwing the body first, developing the tension here as the shoulder gets left behind, and using that to whip in and push across there. So I don't have a lot more to say, but I'm not really sure that I know much more about it, Matt. But hopefully that gives you something to think about, and I'd be interested to hear your comments or the comments of anybody else who watched. And thank you very much for watching. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please take the time to rate and comment, and it would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe. Thank you.